If you're wondering which laptops for Blender are worth your money, stick around. After we run through each product, I'll give you my personal take. Would I buy it or would I skip it? No fluff, just my honest opinion. Let's get into it. Microsoft Surface Laptop 7, the Snapdragon X Elite chip in this bad boy delivers some decent performance in Blender, scoring around 13,295 in multi-core tests, but falls behind the MacBook Air M3 in single-core tasks. While it's good enough for basic 3D modeling, you'll hit performance bottlenecks with larger projects, and most specialized programs still lack native ARM support. The build quality is fantastic though, with a bright 3.2 display hitting 589 nits and impressive battery life of around 17 hours. Would I buy it? No. The lack of software compatibility and weak GPU make it a risky choice for serious Blender work. MacBook Air M3. This lightweight champion takes around 4 minutes to render the BMW test scene in Blender, which isn't terrible for a fanless design. The M3 chip delivers about 20% better performance than the M2, especially in creator tasks, but don't expect it to compete with proper workstation laptops. Without active cooling, it throttles hard during sustained workloads like rendering, so prepare for some coffee breaks. Would I buy it? Maybe. If you need portability and don't mind slower render times, it's a decent casual option. MacBook Pro M4, damn, this thing is fast. The M4 Max can render Blender's BMW scene in just 19 seconds, absolutely destroying the base M4's 65 seconds. It delivers nearly double the multi-core performance of the M2 Max in a 177% boost in GPU tasks. The only real downside is the eye-watering price tag, but hey, time is money, right? Would I buy it? Yes, if you can afford it. This is currently the fastest laptop for Blender that doesn't sound like a jet engine. Dell XPS 13 2024. Look, I tried to like it, but this thing struggles with Blender. The Intel Core Ultra processor and integrated ARC graphics just can't keep up with dedicated GPUs or Apple Silicon. The slim design looks gorgeous, but that comes at the cost of thermal throttling during intensive tasks. At least the battery life is decent at 14 hours, so you'll have plenty of time to wait for those renders to finish. Would I buy it? No. Save your money and get something with actual rendering power. Acer Aspire 5. Look, for a budget laptop, it's not terrible. You get decent multitasking with up to 16 gigabytes of RAM, and the Intel Core i5 processor handles basic 3D work, though you'll need patience when rendering. The display is bright enough for indoor use, but looks washed out, and while the build quality is decent, the keyboard feels mushier than my grandma's overcooked pasta. Would I buy it? No, the integrated graphics will make you cry tears of frustration with complex Blender scenes. Razer Blade 14. This compact powerhouse packs an RTX 4070 that can handle demanding 3D work while staying relatively cool, though the fans sound like a jet engine taking off when pushed hard. The 240Hz display is gorgeous with 100% DCI-P3 color coverage, but damn. Razer really wants your entire savings account for this thing. Would I buy it? Yes. The combination of power and portability makes it perfect for 3D work on the go, despite the premium price tag. Dell XPS 17. This absolute unit comes with up to an RTX 4080 and can be configured with 64 gigabytes of RAM, making it a rendering beast. The 4K display is stunning for detailed 3D work, but the price tag might require selling a kidney, and the 60Hz refresh rate feels like we're back in 2010. Would I buy it? Maybe. If you need desktop class performance and don't mind lugging around a 5-pound laptop that costs as much as a used car. Samsung Galaxy Book 4 Pro. Samsung nailed the display game with this gorgeous OLED touchscreen that makes 3D models look incredible, and the Intel Core Ultra processor handles basic Blender work decently. However, the integrated ARC graphics will struggle with complex scenes, and the speakers sound worse than a phone from 2005. Would I buy it? No. While it's beautiful and portable, the lack of dedicated graphics makes it a poor choice for serious 3D work. Asus VivoBook S14 DDD. Look, if you're trying to render in Blender on this thing, the Intel Core Ultra 7 processor with 32 gigabytes of RAM will handle it pretty well, plus that 2.8K OLED display with 120Hz refresh rate makes everything look crisp as hell. The battery life is insane. I got around 16 hours of use, which means you can work on your donut tutorial all day long without looking for a charger, though that glossy display is going to make you see your disappointed face reflecting back at you when working outdoors. Would I buy it? Yes, it's a solid machine for the price, and that battery life is no joke. Asus ProArt P16. This beast comes with an AMD Ryzen AI 9HX 370 processor and RTX 4070 graphics that will crush your Blender renders like they're nothing. The 4K OLED touchscreen is absolutely gorgeous with 100% DCI-P3 color accuracy, and the 6-speaker system sounds amazing. The only real bummer is that the screen is locked at 60 Hz, which feels a bit dated, and it gets pretty toasty under heavy loads. Would I buy it? Maybe, if you've got the cash to burn and don't mind your laptop doubling as a space heater. Lenovo ThinkPad T14S Gen 6. This bad boy rocks a Qualcomm Snapdragon X Elite processor that's surprisingly capable for 3D work, and the battery life is absolutely ridiculous at over 20 hours. The build quality is fantastic with that classic ThinkPad durability, but damn, that display is underwhelming for creative work unless you spring for the OLED upgrade. Would I buy it? No. While it's built like a tank, there are better options for Blender work at this price point. Lenovo ThinkPad X1 Carbon Gen 11. The keyboard on this thing is absolutely fantastic for when you're typing in those Blender commands, and the carbon fiber chassis makes it super light at just 2.48 pounds. But let's be real, the Intel Iris Xe integrated graphics aren't going to win any awards for render speeds, and that base display is dimmer than my future. Would I buy it? No, great build quality, but those specs aren't cutting it for serious Blender work. HP Dragonfly G4. Let's be real, this laptop is light as a feather at 2.2 pounds, which is great for carrying it around, but for Blender, the processor keeps surprisingly cool and quiet, but with no dedicated graphics card, you'll be waiting ages for those renders. The battery life is impressive at over 12 hours, but that won't matter much when you're stuck at your desk waiting for that donut tutorial to finish rendering. Would I buy it? No, it's a beautiful business laptop, but without dedicated graphics, it's just not cut out for Blender work. Lenovo Slim Pro 9i. Now, this is more like it. The mini LED display with 1200 nits. Brightness will make your 3D models pop like they're coming out of the screen. The RTX 4050 might not be top of the line, but it handles 3D rendering decently, though the battery life is so bad you'll need to keep it plugged in anyway. The performance is actually pretty solid for the price point, and it beats the MacBook Pro in some rendering tasks. Would I buy it? Maybe. If you're on a budget and don't mind being tethered to a wall outlet, it's a decent choice for Blender work. MSI Stealth 18AI Studio. This thing is an absolute unit with its Intel Core Ultra 9 and RTX 4080, making it a rendering powerhouse that'll chew through your Blender projects. The 18-inch mini LED display with 4K resolution is gorgeous, but damn, this laptop is as thick as a dictionary and weighs about as much as one too. The build quality feels a bit cheap for the price, with some creaking in the chassis, not what you want to hear from a $4,000 laptop. Would I buy it? Yes, despite its flaws, the raw power makes it the best choice for serious Blender work. Gigabyte Aero 16 OLED. This laptop comes with a stunning 4K OLED display that's factory calibrated, perfect for checking if your materials look right. The RTX 4070 paired with the Core i9 makes it a solid performer for rendering, though the 60Hz refresh rate feels like it's stuck in 2010. The battery life is pretty terrible thanks to that power-hungry OLED screen, but hey, at least your renders will look beautiful while you're searching for a power outlet. Would I buy it? Maybe. Great display and decent performance, but the refresh rate limitation might drive you crazy during long modeling sessions. Lenovo ThinkPad P16S Gen 2. Let me tell you about this workstation that's trying to be both slim and powerful. It rocks an AMD Ryzen 7 Pro with integrated Radeon 780M graphics that surprisingly matches an RTX 2050's performance, perfect for those late-night Blender sessions. The 4K OLED display with 100% DCI-P3 coverage makes your renders look damn beautiful, though the USB ports could have been faster for all that file transferring we do. The battery life is decent, but gets eaten up by that bright white OLED screen, a classic case of beauty coming at a cost. Would I buy it? Yes. It's a solid workstation that won't break your back or your wallet. Asus ZenBook 14 OLED Q425. This lightweight champion comes with Intel Core Ultra 7 and integrated ARC graphics. Not the beefiest setup for Blender, but hey, at least you can carry it around without getting a herniated disc. The OLED display hits 500 nits peak brightness and 100% DCI-P3 coverage, making your work look fantastic even though the build quality feels a bit cheap for the price. The battery life is impressive at 13 hours, but that hinge feels like it might give up before you finish your first donut tutorial. Would I buy it? Maybe. If you're more into modeling than heavy rendering and you value portability over raw power. HP Spectre X 36014. This convertible beauty packs an Intel Core Ultra 7 155H with ARC graphics and a gorgeous 2.8K OLED display that hits 120 Hz. Smooth as butter for those viewport rotations. The haptic touchpad can be a bit finicky, and with limited ports, you might need to juggle dongles like a circus performer. The pen input is great for sculpting, and the build quality is premium as hell, though you're paying for all that luxury. Would I buy it? Yes, it's expensive but versatile, perfect for those who want to sculpt directly on screen. Lenovo Legion Pro 7 iGen 9. Now, this is a proper powerhouse, rocking up to an RTX 4090 and Intel Core i9 14900HX. This thing will chew through your renders like a hungry hippo. The display is crazy good with 100% DCI-P3 coverage and 240 Hz refresh rate, though you might need a chiropractor after carrying this 6.17-pound beast around. The battery life is garbage. 40 minutes under load is pathetic, but damn, those render times make up for it. Would I buy it? Yes, if you're serious about Blender and don't mind being tethered to a wall socket. Thanks for watching. I hope this video helped you pick the laptops for Blender for you. If you have any questions, drop a comment below. Links to all of these products mentioned in this video will be in the description.